Hi. So a lot of people are talking about the latest of what's happened regarding a attack from the U.S., the United States, to another country, and it was impulsive. And I'm going to break that down because I want to break down around the checks and balances that we need to have in society. When we don't have checks and balances in place, and we don't understand how people process information, or we understand in a subconscious way and we use it to manipulate people, things can happen that can impact other people, especially when people have a leadership position. So I have broken down how he's been called all sorts of things. You can call him Taco, you can call him whatever you want to call him. I have broken down how he processes information from a belonging, what his belonging language is. And I'm going to tell you, everybody needs belonging. Some people need more community than others. Some people need less community than others. So as I'm breaking this down, I'm going to tell you some things. Some people, there are a couple of things. First of all, if you're stronger in one of your belonging languages, you may need certain things in that belonging language. Like there's some people that may be stronger around environment, and they'll need their environment a certain way. And so you don't mess with their environment. You just don't do that. And it's really going to upset them if you do. So if someone's really big around their environment, and one of the things that they don't like is when you leave you don't put your coffee cup on a coaster, and you just don't pay attention. And that really drives them crazy. They're very particular about that. They're an environment person. Don't do that. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. When there's other aspects, when people have a tendency to be impulsive, and there are certain things that in a belonging language that are going to cause people to be more impulsive. And if people say certain things to them, it's going to create more impulsivity, less patience. So some of the things that people need to do in these situations, meditate. Like I can tell you, breaking down my belonging language, I have 3 areas when I'm talking about belonging that create more impulsivity for me. So one of the things I need to do is I need to meditate. I need to sit and be quiet and give myself time to process. I'll give you an example. I was at a sale today, and I was looking at this book around AI, and AI not being an equity-based type of book. It was AI and biases. I looked at when it came out, 2023, so it was newer. And I thought, it was regularly like $30. It was going to be $18. And I sat and thought about it for a second. I was almost bought it, and then I thought, no, I'm in the AI community in my town. We have a lot of robust things around AI. I already know a lot around this stuff because I've already studied this stuff. I don't need that book. But I almost bought it out of impulsivity. But I didn't, because I regularly meditate, and I took a step back. However, if I didn't have that and someone were able to use my belonging language with me and connect with me and say, oh, this would really benefit you. It's part of my language. Oh, this could help you, this would really help your business. This would make your business better. They're speaking to me in one of my needs languages, one of my belonging languages. They're speaking cost versus benefit. It may have impacted how I viewed it if they treated it like it was a prize. I may have viewed it differently, especially if I hadn't worked so hard in understanding who I am, how I communicate, and how I navigate in the world. This is also why if we don't put checks and balances in for ourselves, others need to put it in for us. Because when checks and balances aren't in place for people who continue in patterns that are harmful towards themselves and others, things happen that will create chaos, division, destruction. And it just will. It just will, because you're not taking the time to focus on, one, getting healthy, and two, learn how to work with yourself, and three, learn how to work with others. Because it's all going to be your way, the way you want it, and you can do no wrong. And if you listen to him, and you've listened to other people talk who have been in leadership in the same position he's been in, as far as a leader in the workplace, and this is a workplace situation, they have said, what could you say you've done wrong in the first part of your stint in office? Most people that have been in his position would say, well, I could have done this better, or I could have done this better. What he says is, I've done nothing wrong. I'm perfect. That's pride. That's arrogance. And that's not healthy. There's no repentance. There's no I'm sorry. And that tells me there's some serious vows there, some serious narratives there, and some serious wounds there that have not been dealt with. That also tells me he thinks he's the best. He thinks he's the best prize. That's one way he processes information. That also tells me if you tell him how special he is and give him gifts, you're in like Flynn. Now, there's more about him that I can explain. And that's the other reason why he jumps from thing to thing to thing to thing. And I explain more of this in the book I'm writing. So if you want to learn more about what's going on, how to break people down so you know how to navigate them to keep yourself safe, I would follow me. I would find out more about my book that it's almost finished. And or I would even get on my website and check out my dark personalities training. This is going to be so impactful because you're going to learn belonging language and how people create followership through this. It's a different way of looking at things. So on that note, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.